When I talk to people about homeschooling, this is actually something that comes up a lot, is like, oh my gosh, how do you deal with that if you are sick or when the kids are sick? And it's kind of funny, the things that people will kind of block or put in the way of thinking about homeschooling as though this is some insurmountable challenge, when really it's not. Hello, welcome back. My name is Andrea, and I am a homeschool mom of two. It is, I'm looking out the window in front of me, an incredibly dreary, rainy day here in England, and I am feeling a little under the weather. And so I thought it's the perfect time to talk to you about homeschooling while you, as the teacher, are sick. While I hate being sick and it drives me crazy when my kids are feeling great, and yet I am feeling down and low energy and sick. In my mind, I'm like, oh, we could be getting so much done, but instead I can't. I have to kind of take it easy. I have actually learned over the years to use it as kind of try to flip the script or change the narrative on how I look at this and think of it as possibly a good thing. And so I'll explain what I mean by that. I don't know if you've noticed this, I'm sure that you have, that when you go on, let's say, a vacation, some kind of trip, or really just kind of get outside of your normal day-to-day life with your kids, sometimes that's the time where they do the most growing up, where they kind of have the most breakthroughs in their independence or a skill that they're working on. And the same thing is true, what I have noticed about being sick as a homeschool mom is, I'll give you one example lately. So my daughter is 6, and her learning how to read has been not difficult, but more difficult than it was for my son to learn how to read. My son, I think, was just one of those kids who you explain the phonics rules to him and he just gets it. And so he moved along learning how to read really with no trouble. He always was wanting me to teach him how to read, and it was no fight or anything like that. With my daughter, it was a little bit more of a challenge. She didn't really like her reading lessons. She really only just wanted me to read her book. She wasn't interested in sounding out the words for herself for the longest time. And now I didn't raise my hands and say, well, okay, I'm not going to teach you how to read. We'll just learn this later. No, I still would work with her every day, but it was just more of a challenge. She has been getting better and better, and now she's more than halfway through her first grade year. And I've been sick lately. One thing that has been amazing to see as her mom is that I've been laying down on the couch or taking it easy, and I'll ask her if she could just read me a story because it will make me feel so much better. And she has been delighted to help me by reading to me. And so she will just get a stack of books from her room and slowly pick through the words and read to me. And her reading has gotten so much better by me getting out of her way and just listening and letting her figure it out. It's just been a joy to see her figure it out on her own. I mean, I've taught her all of the lessons, but it's not until mommy is sick and now I need you to really help me by reading to me that she has stepped up and her reading has just blossomed. So it's been a great thing that I got sick. Same thing with my son. Since I haven't been able to do a lot of one-on-one lessons to him or reading out loud, he has really stepped up to read to his sister, to do our read-alouds that we usually do, Bible reading every morning. Well, now that's been his job since I've been losing my voice. And he has been enjoying greatly leading the lesson, and he'll do the prayer for us and he'll ask questions to his sister about the reading. And so it's really given him the opportunity to shine as a teacher to his younger sister. So that has been one thing that I wanted to share with you as an encouragement, that if you are sick and you're the homeschooling teacher, that to maybe try to view it as more of an opportunity for your kids to shine and to grow if you kind of just get out of their way and step aside for a little bit. Another thing that I wanted to share with you when it comes to getting sick as a homeschool parent is that sometimes I think people might still have a 1980s view of homeschooling and not realize that I don't teach my kids absolutely everything. When it comes to their music lessons, like we're out here in the country, and so we don't have access to like piano lessons and things like that. And I don't know how to play the piano myself. And so I use Masterbooks Academy. They have wonderful piano lessons. My kids are also taking their ukulele lessons, which are amazing. So if you go to masterbooksacademy.com, I believe, or masterbooks.com, and then you can see their online courses or their academy courses. Their classes are very reasonably priced, less than $100. I think we might be paying $40 or $50 for a year's worth of piano lessons. So then my kids are able to go through them on their own time. And so since I've been sick, they've been focusing a lot more on their other things, maybe not so much on math, but focusing a little bit more on their music lessons or the handicraft that they're working on. Typically in a week, they might take one piano lesson for the whole week. Well, in the week that I'm sick, they might take 2 or 3 because they have a lot more time to practice and to focus on those lessons than they would in a regular week where I'm going through all of their other subjects with them. Another thing that's wonderful just about the Charlotte Mason method of education is that it really sets the kids up to be independent workers. So for example, narration. My son, who is 9, he reads books on his own, and every chapter he'll come back and talk to me about what it was about. He'll narrate back to me what he learned, what the chapter was about, connect any dots that there needs to be connected with. We will have a discussion about it, but it's not like I'm needing to read every single word to him, and I'm not even necessarily needing to have some kind of classroom activity. All that he needs to do is read the book and come and tell me about it. And so this is very simple for him to do. So usually on days where I am feeling much better, we might just do one chapter and move on to something else. Well, now he's going to be reading 2, 3 chapters. If he's really enjoying the book, he'll just stop at each chapter, come back and tell me about the last chapter that he read, and then move on to the next chapter because he's just enjoying having the time to do that right now. Another opportunity when you as the homeschool parent are sick is that it's just opening up your kids to real life and things that they will be happy to know how to do later on. My daughter has actually been really enjoying being my little nurse. She thinks that it is fun to have a job to take care of me. So she has learned how to make a cup of tea, just silly things like that, but she's learning how to take care of somebody who is sick. And I think that it does kind of help with the empathy of your kids, that it's not just necessarily all about them all of the time, that other people need your help, that you need to clean up after yourself and maybe even learn how to make your own snack because mommy just can't do that right now. And again, while I don't like being sick and I don't want my kids to feel like they have to take care of me or anything like that, but I have kind of let them a little bit just as a learning opportunity for them to learn how to do some of these things on their own, which will help them develop their own independence and also just their own empathy and ability to take care of somebody who is not feeling well. So truly, getting sick is just a part of normal family life, and we don't need to feel like we are failing in our job as a homeschool parent or as a homeschool mom when you are sick and not feeling well. I've just my method when I am sick is to maintain kind of the basics, make sure that they're at least getting their math done, but I'm not really caring about all of the little extras. And I'm even just kind of asking them, like, what would you like to focus on today, since I can't really work with you as much as I used to be able to? And so they'll come up with their own ideas. Well, could I work on my friendship bracelets that I've been making? Sure. Well, I'd really love to do piano today more. Okay, great. Let's do that. And so it's not like everything stops, but everything just kind of changes for a bit. And I think that that is totally okay. And I think that it's a good break for the kids. It's a good way to help them grow and develop on their own. It's an opportunity to learn, just like with any other opportunity that comes into the family. And again, I'm totally just talking about like I'm going through the cold and flu season right now. This is not like I have this long-term issue going on. That's a different topic, but these little illnesses and these little colds can really actually, if you just try to change the way that you think about it and not let it be a frustrating moment, let it be a time to grow, it can actually be totally fine. So I just wanted to encourage you. I'm on the upswing of feeling much better, but still just feeling slightly under the weather. And the weather here in England does not help. I remember once I was living in Miami, and at the time I was sick visiting some family in Kansas, and the doctor said, actually, the best thing for you is to get back to the Miami sunshine. And I think about that all the time when I'm here in England, and I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to see the sun again. It is so cloudy here. So anyway, I hope that you all are well. And if you're not, I hope that you get better soon. And I will see you soon. Joy and Fairmont.
Uh-oh. It's Dustin Thermal.
What does that mean?
You're new medicine, Mom. You're not sick. Mommy, you're gonna go to bed. Mami, necesitas descansar.